Shalom Aleichem, Mishpachim. I am coming to you with a continuation of a Sefer, Crossing the Narrow Bridge. This is Rabbi Nachman's Sefer. We are starting a new part of the book. I believe it is titled Torah and Mitzvot. I believe. Let us begin. Torah and Mitzvot. All right. This is a continuation. If you want to check out the introduction to this, I have it also on my channel, and also I have the first portion of what is simplicity on the first channel, on this channel. So let us begin. In Torah and Mitzvot, Rabbi Nachman remarked, "My achievements came mainly through simplicity. I spent much time simply conversing with God and reciting the Psalms. The Rebbe yearned to serve God like the simple, common people. He often said, simplicity." The Rebbe wanted us to make every attempt to simplify our lives and our devotions to God. Thus, Reb Nosson wrote, "The Rebbe's desire was for us to serve God simply, to the very best of our ability, each and every day. He said that our main goal should be to do good and serve Him, without any sophistication whatsoever. Every good and holy thing can be done with absolute simplicity. We should study Torah, pray, recite Psalms and other prayers, and perform mitzvot, all with the utmost simplicity and sincerity, and with great joy." The Rebbe loved and praised the simple acts of people reciting Psalms, singing Zimrot at the Shabbat table, and so on. He would deride those who thought themselves too smart and clever to act simply. Until he became terminally ill, the Rebbe himself would sing a lot at the Shabbat table. Every word of Psalms recited is a mitzvah. Every word of Torah study is a mitzvah. Every song sung at the Shabbat table is a mitzvah. The more we do, the more we accomplish. Simplicity, therefore, is the foundation for all our devotions. With it, we can be constantly occupied doing mitzvot and good deeds. Without it, our deeds are always subject to the philosophical reasoning and equivocations of our minds. If we are always thinking and trying to figure out if we are doing the right thing as opposed to actually doing it, then we cannot accomplish much. We are too busy thinking. But if we approach the mitzvot and good deeds with simplicity, we can always find something to do. Simplicity is also a necessary ingredient in the performance of the mitzvot themselves. Reb Nosson, always the careful observer of human nature, once remarked, "Often, because a person insists upon performing a mitzvah in the very best way possible, he ends up not performing the mitzvah at all. This can be seen from the following ideal: the mitzvah of sanctifying the new moon is performed on a clear night. However, even if the sky is cloudy, as long as one can see the moon through the clouds, one should not delay, but recite the blessing." Reb Nosson asks, what if, as is often the case in the middle of winter, one has reason to believe that there may not be any more clear nights before the full moon is reached, and the time for sanctifying the moon has passed? Should one nonetheless wait for a clear night, as this is the ideal way to perform the mitzvah? Reb Nosson rejects this argument. Granted, it would be wonderful if we could perform every mitzvah perfectly and in the precisely prescribed manner. But if we did wait to perform each mitzvah perfectly, with all its fine points, with the specific intentions, and with us in the proper frame of mind, there is good reason to believe that we would end up not performing it at all. The Jewish people have a Shulchan Aruch, a set table, upon which all the laws have been laid out for us. More specifically, this set table is a collection of legal rulings from the Talmud and successive codifiers, all of whom clarify the more obscure sections of the Talmud, compiled by Rabbi Yosef Karo and annotated by Rabbi Moshe Isoles. Each ruling which appears in this work, known as the Shulchan Aruch, was carefully considered by these two outstanding Torah scholars. They weighed the assessments and opinions offered by the numerous halakhic authorities who preceded them, and arrived at the proper balance, their conclusions being the most appropriate solution for those areas where there were differing and or opposing views. The decisions they recorded stand as law. Now, when it comes to complying with halacha, the codes, we too should adopt balance as our guide. There is no need for us to be overly stringent, nor overly lenient in the observance of the mitzvot. Someone who gravitates to one of these extremes is considered either a fool or wicked. We have to be careful. We have to seek a balance. Even so, this does not mean, for example, that if a person can afford a choice lulav and etrog, that he should not extend himself financially or otherwise when seeking a suitable palm branch and citron for the Sukkot holiday. What it does mean is that when the 4 species which a person has are acceptable halakhically, there is no need for him to spend additional time or money seeking and searching for precisely the one lulav and etrog that might be acceptable to all views. There is a great difference between beautifying a mitzvah and trying to comply with all the views. In summary, simplicity in mitzvot means performing the mitzvah because God commanded me to do so. Reading my own special meaning into the mitzvah gives it a specific shape and form, which is really a constriction or a limitation of the mitzvah. In addition, when I think I understand the meaning of the mitzvah and am motivated to fulfill it because I understand, this is sophistication. I am actually setting myself up for a fall. There may come a time when things go against my understanding, or a situation arises that contradicts the specific structure I had given to the mitzvah. What happens then? Reb Noson's son-in-law, Reb Baruch, once told Reb Noson that he agrees with the Rebbe's system of Torah study. Reb Noson said to him, if you follow that system because Rabbi Nachman advises so with faith, then you'll stick to it. But if you study that way because you understand that it's right, then there will come a time when you reject it. Sure enough, Reb Baruch later returned to his father-in-law and acknowledged that Reb Noson had been correct. He had indeed begun to understand differently. Thus, whenever the question arises, what is the Breslover custom in such and such a case? The answer is, look in the Shulchan Aruch. Whatever it says there, that's what Rabbi Nachman did. Naturally, where the codes themselves offer differing opinions, each of us should follow his family's customs. Rabbi Nachman's way, his advice, and directives were never intended as a set of halachically binding rules. The Rebbe was more concerned in teaching his followers to fulfill the spirit of the mitzvot. Even where an established Breslov community does have particular customs, adherents who come from different backgrounds will continue to practice the way their families always have, either Sephardic or Ashkenazic. All right, and that was the reading on Torah and Mitzvot, connecting to simplicity. And I do agree with this. I totally 100% agree. Not that it's in my power to speak against it, but I really do agree with simplicity in when you approach Torah and Mitzvot, because, like I said before, in another video, the opposite of simplicity just causes complications, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want complications. Simplicity is, like Rabbi Nachman said, is not necessarily a negative thing, a negative character trait. Midot. Simplicity doesn't mean that you're a fool, that you even need, you need a more clear understanding. No. Simplicity means that you take the approach of not the easy route, but the route of understanding, the route of not even a basic level route, but it's hard to explain, but it's a route that strays away from complications. That's the only way I can put it. So take the simple route when you're approaching mitzvot, following God's commandments, even learning. Take the simple route. I hope this can give any further understanding. Probably not. I don't know. But that was the second reading on the topic of simplicity regarding Torah and mitzvot. All right. Le'le tov.